PCN.
Even Governor Ed Rendell watches PCN to find out what's on the minds of lawmakers in the House and Senate. PCN shows the process of government in real time without editing. PCN, your window on the state capitol, only on cable. Tomorrow's college football stars are on the rise right here in Pennsylvania. You can scout the high school standouts on PCN's Game of the Week. Game of the Week, Friday and Saturday nights on PCN.
Welcome back. Welcome back to the Comcast High School football game of the night. We are in Wash High Stadium where the Prexies are taking on the Jayhawks. And I tell you what, it is Jeanette that has taken the field right now. For bands, they're putting on a fantastic show. It's a swing sensation, in fact. They are directed by band director Maria Brecht, and they have a drum major, Adam Field, who is up front leading the band as well. This is a phenomenal group of teens here. In fact, they are performing in 2 festivals this year, and we're told that come April, they're actually headed to a parade at Disney. So a lot of fun for this group this year. Take a listen. Watching the Jeanette Jayhawk marching band, but don't go away. Coming up, the hometown Prexies take the field.
The PCN Legislative Directory tells you how to contact the lawmakers who make decisions that affect you. The handy pocket-sized book has the names, pictures, phone numbers, and addresses that you need to get in touch with your elected officials. The PCN Legislative Directory is $5. For your copy, call 1-866-726-8433 or visit the PCN store at pcntv.com.
What do the following people have in common? They're all from Pennsylvania, and they've all been featured on PCN Profiles. PCN Profiles, Sundays at 10 p.m. on PCN, only on cable.
PCN tours can be watched at your desk or on the go too. Just visit pcntv.com. Click on PCN Online and watch tours at the usual times during the week. Or click on Podcasts and download a tour and watch it anytime you want on your computer or your video iPod. Get PCN tours the way you want them, on cable, online, or on your iPod.
There's one subject that everybody has something to say about: the weather. When you venture outdoors, you want to be prepared for whatever nature has in store for you. And if you're traveling around Pennsylvania, you need more than a local forecast. That's where Weather World comes in. The team at Weather World brings their years of experience together to tell you about the weather conditions all over the state, every weekday. Weather World, weekdays at 5:45 p.m. on PCN, only on cable.
The official record of history often leaves out the individual's point of view. But 33 Pennsylvania veterans tell how they saw history while they were making it in World War II in their own words. The 251-page book, based on the PCN television series, is now available for $14.99 plus shipping and sales tax. Call 1-866-726-8433 or visit our website at pcntv.com for your copy today. Tomorrow's college football stars are on the rise right here in Pennsylvania. Next week, Parkland at Freedom, featuring Parkland at Freedom, Friday night at 7. Also, Grove City at Wilmington, Saturday night at 9.
It is halftime here at Wash High Stadium, and you are watching the Comcast High School football game of the night, where the Prexies have taken the field, doing their best to get us in the rock and roll mood. We just heard AC/DC, and now it's a little bit of Violent Femmes and some 9 Inch Nails. This band is under the direction of David Dayton and Field Commander Megan Engel. This band has a long history of excellence. They're fantastic. The past 3 years, they've had a superior band rating, and they have a nationally ranked steel band, which we're hearing a little bit of that tonight. They're also slated to perform at the Trinity Band Festival coming up. Let's listen in. And the Washington Prexies tackle the Violent Femmes tonight on the field during halftime, but it's not over. John and Chris are back with all the stats and highlights. That's coming up. Don't go away.
What do the following people have in common? They're all from Pennsylvania, and they've all been featured on PCN Profiles. Documentary filmmaker Mark Busler, Sunday night at 10.
PCN's daily program schedule can be delivered to you by email. For this free service, send your email address to pcntv@pcntv.com. PCN is looking for interns. If you're a college student interested in television production and politics, PCN has an opportunity for you to work with professionals and get hands-on experience. You would report to PCN studios near Harrisburg and work between 20 and 40 hours a week. In order to qualify, your internship must be part of a college academic program. To find out more about PCN internships, visit our website at pcntv.com.
PA Books takes you on an odyssey through Pennsylvania. This week, the author of Barbaro, Sean Clancy, Sunday night at 9.
Governor Ed Rendell will help celebrate the 10th anniversary of PCN's call-in program. The state's chief executive will answer your questions Tuesday live at 7 p.m. PCN, only on cable. America's manufacturing is all over the globe these days. But look at Pennsylvania. Lots of the things you see and use every day are still being produced right here. PCN Tours takes you inside Pennsylvania's factories to show you how things are made. Your guide from the company will walk you through the whole process, from raw materials to the finished product. PCN Tours Mountjoy Wire, Sunday night at 8. Tomorrow's college football stars are on the rise right here in Pennsylvania. You can scout the high school standouts on PCN's Game of the Week. Game of the Week, Friday and Saturday nights on PCN.
(39-6), the Jeanette Jayhawks in an early rout over Wash High as we're at halftime right now. And welcome back to Wash High Stadium. Chris Shovlin with John Sanders. And right now, let's take a look at some of the highlights in the first half. It's been a wild one so far, John.
Well, after the opening kickoff, the great return set up the touchdown. A good job of the quarterback, Smith, rolling to his right, finds his receiver in the corner of the end zone, but that was just about it as far as positive yardage is concerned. And, of course, Pryor came right back. And a guy who's having a terrific night tonight is Jordan Hall, number 2. He's just doing a great job.
That he is. Washington
too
on
much
offense
of this.
and too much defense by Jeanette.
Well, they turned it over 3 times on fumbles.
That's
that
Jordan
made
Hall
it
again.
That's Jordan Hall. He's everywhere. Offense, defense.
Jerry Harris got shaken up a little later in the second period, but nice scamper there for touch.
And with all that running up the middle, it's pretty easy to fake the handoff and go around the side, and there's nobody home.
Right now we're joined by Mike White of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Mike is the Scholastic sports editor, and not only that, but you have a key interest in Mr. Pryor. You've been writing a sort of a diary of him in the PG lately.
Well, we started that the other day for the first time. We're going to continue that periodically up until he makes a college decision. And I don't know if there's anything more that can be written about the kid or said about the kid that hasn't been said already. I guess we'll try.
Mike, do you have the inside scoop on where he wants to go?
No, I do not. That's the number one question. I was in a bank the other day, and a guy came up to me and asked me that. So I do not. He's being pretty tight-lipped.
Well, I think you agree with me, though, Mike, that he needs to go someplace that can feature all of his talent, running and passing.
I agree with you, and I think some of the schools he's considering, they do that, like West Virginia. And even Ohio State, I'm sure they're saying to him, hey, look, we had Troy Smith won the option,
right,
won the Heisman last year. We ran some things with him, and I'm sure Penn State's telling him, we're going to mold things. They're all telling him. They'll change things to mold things around him.
You're saying they're not at all telling the exact truth?
And they're all telling him they'll take him for basketball, too.
That's true. I know that.
What's the story about basketball? Is he really serious about this?
Oh, he's very serious, and I think he'll try it at some point. Will he play all 4 years? I don't know. It's so tough. And what people don't realize, especially when you're a quarterback, when you're a defensive lineman, running back somewhere else, it's very tough to do. And tough to do academically, maybe more than anything. But I talked to Charlie Ward about it. He did it. He tells the kid, go try it. He thinks he might be able to do it.
You remember Donovan McNabb did it at Syracuse.
Exactly.
We just saw the two faces of Mr. Pryor there, basketball and football. He is a special talent in both. I particularly think he's a better football player, though.
Well, his future. There are a lot of 6'5", 6'6" guys that are in college basketball and make it to the NBA. There aren't a lot of 6'5", 6'6" guys playing quarterback that can do what he does. And the thing I like about him, I think he's a better thrower this year. I watched him warm up. His mechanics even look a little better. I think they've done a great job coaching him, and you're seeing why he's rated so highly tonight.
All right, Mike, thanks for joining us. Right now, let's talk with the head coach of the Wash High Little Prexies, Bill Britton. Bill, I know it was a tough first half of play, although you got off to a great start there early. Talk about the opening drive.
Well, we came out first half. We were pretty fired up, as you could see. The kids, they really wanted to play, and we went down, and we were able to go ahead and I felt that we were, with some of our over and under looks, we had them a little confused. We were able to go ahead and audible a few times and hit the open pass, as you could see. And then we rolled out, and we were able to go ahead and score. Then after that, they came right back, and from that point, we pretty much laid down. That's what we talked about. We're dealing with a little bit of apathy right now, and hopefully we know it's hot. It's tough out there whenever you're down by so many points, but we challenge their manhood a little bit at halftime, and hopefully we can come out here the second half and have a little better performance.
You told me the other day, Coach, this is John Sanders, that you were not going to be intimidated, and I don't think that was a factor here. The mistakes obviously hurt you. Did it surprise you that defensively they've been able to bring so many people and keep so much pressure on your offense after that opening drive? Well,
you know what? Their team speed is just unbelievable. We talked about that and what we're going to have to do a little bit with our splits and some other things. We're going to have to make some adjustments, but their team speed is just unbelievable.
Were you surprised also, one more question here, that they're able to move the ball up the middle so much? I know that he wanted to do that, figuring you might stack things to the outside, so part of his game plan was to go up the middle, and that's worked out pretty well for them.
Absolutely, and that's what I'd said all week. I said, we have to stop Mike Matt, the buck trap. They'll kill you with that because you want to protect the perimeter, and we protected the perimeter somewhat, but they just came right up the middle on us, and we were prepared for it. We're not executing.
All right, Coach Britton, I know your guys, in your opinion, need to play harder, but they were whacking Jeanette out there as tough as they could in that first half, and I know you want them to keep it up. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Coach Bill Britton of the Wash High Little Prexies. John, he has a tough road to hoe if he wants to climb back into this ball game.
Well, especially if he had a stat sheet and he took a look at the difference in the numbers between the two teams in the opening part of this football game. The first two quarters, you can see 3 turnovers at the bottom. That was a factor, but not nearly as much as a factor as you wind up with total offense of -2 yards with all the sacks figured in.
That's tough. That's tough. But then again, all anybody talks about is Jeanette and Terrell Pryor. This is a complete ball club. I mean, he has so many offensive weapons, but defensively, these guys have been very, very special tonight.
Well, and they put a lot of people along that front line, and they blitzed almost nonstop, especially when they got ahead. Then they could really go ahead and lay back and take off after the quarterback, stuff the run, and then they get a play that does have some positive yardage, and he drops the ball and turns it over. It's just been one of those kind of nights, and let's see if they've got the intestinal fortitude to play better in the second half.
Well, you talk about dropping the ball. 3 fumbles lost for Wash High tonight. Jeanette fumbled the ball as well, but everything's been bouncing their way.
It has so far, and one of the reasons is that speed that he talked about, and I talk about their defensive line, and we saw it. It is speed, but also strength.
Thomas Kelly got the scoring going early in this game. A 4-yard reception from Chad Smith from Wash High. That followed a kickoff return of 77 yards by Joe Ward, but then it was all Jeanette ever since. 7:11 to go in the first. Jordan Hall, a 15-yard catch from Pryor. Danko's extra point. 4:12 to go in the first. Pryor took it in from from 2 yards out. Danko added the point. It was 14-6 at that point.
Jeanette will receive to start the second half.
3 minutes to go in the first period. Jordan Hall, 12-yard fumble return for a touchdown. The kick was blocked, but Jeanette was off to the races. 20-6 they led. 2:20 to go. Still in the first period. Jerry Harris, a 7-yard run. And Danko added the point after. That was after Wash High fumbled a kickoff return. Jeanette was up 27-6. We were still in the first period of play. Second quarter action, 3:11 to go. Terrell Pryor, a 5-yard run. Kick for the point failed. Jeanette up 33-6. Then with 46 ticks left in the half, Jordan Hall, a 4-yard run. The point failed. Jeanette 39. Wash High 6. That's where we are at the half.
It's taken you that long to complete the scoring summary, and I guess the only thing they did wrong was miss 2 extra points.
Right.
Outside of that, they've been pretty much perfect.
Well, again, we're interested now, John, to see how many of the Jeanette starters will be in here at the genesis of the third period of play. Ron Ritz said he was going to go, or Ray Ritz, I should say, said he was going to go into the locker room to talk to the staff about getting some of the guys out.
Well, I think that's a good idea because it's early, it's hot. You don't know what kind of an injury you could sustain. And when you've got a dynamite team as he does, that's the last thing you do. And they've already lost Jerry Harris.
Right.
They don't think it's serious, but he's not going to play anymore tonight. And it has been one of those meltdown nights if you're a Washington high school cheerleader or fan. But I haven't heard any grumbling. You know, they're just they're watching a team that in the first half was simply better than them. And you heard their coach say he thought after that opening drive, they kind of laid down when that wheel started rolling downhill against them.
All right, let's see if they answer the call and answer the challenge that Coach Britton and his staff have put forth as Washington will kick off to Jeanette to start the third period of play. T.J. Burns and Jordan Hall are back, and we're getting set for the kickoff from Wash High, and it's going to be Smith to do the booting.
Well, the only thing that Jordan Hall hasn't done is return a kick all the way.
This one will be short. Hall will take it on the hop. Here he comes. Spins and slides his way to the 39.
He is smooth, isn't he? He's got good body control. When he feels the pressure or feels the hit, then he automatically makes some kind of an adjustment, and he has had a terrific first half of play.
Drew Shilato and Zachary Barnes in on the tackle for Washington on the kickoff return. And the Jayhawks will have Terrell Pryor back in there running the offense here to start the third period of play. Remember, he only played 1 quarter, he and the starters, last week. That 60-0 route that they won at Brownsville. Wide out to the right side is going to be Greg Williams. They're going to go 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Here's Hall on the slip screen, and Hall picks up about 7 yards on the pass play as he will take it out to the 46-yard line.
Well, they had more defenders in the secondary that time than we saw at times in the first half. But as Coach mentioned, they were getting beat up the middle. And that's where they thought they would be stronger. They just have not played that way. And knowing that, the quick out is going to work.
Wise in on the tackle along with Ward and Brian Thomas. And if we didn't mention it, Brian Thomas accounted for the other 2 points that Washington scored last week when he tackled quarterback Mark Paw of Waynesburg in the end zone for a safety.
They got too many men on the field, I think.
No flags yet. Pryor's going to throw another screen, this time to the left. It's caught by Mike Matt. Here he comes back this way.
Wow,
great block. 45 flags fly. All the way down to the 30-yard line goes Mike Matt.
A terrific play. Well designed, well set up. One of the blocks was a crusher, and then the other is going to bring the play back.
Yep, here it comes back. Denny Loria.
Block in the back. Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
Well, it was fun to watch. So much fun, let's watch it again.
On our Comcast DVR instant replay, great block out in front. I didn't catch the number of the guy that did that. He laid him out, though.
That might have been the illegal block.
Right.
That was the problem. Yeah, they're going to bring that one back. They'll spot it just shy of the 45-yard line in Jeanette's end of the field. Hot and muggy night here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Chris Shovlin with John Sanders. Katie Cesney is on the field with us tonight, and our entire Comcast Pittsburgh football crew is in Washington. Pryor to throw. It's going to be short.
That's the first bad throw he's made tonight.
That one he almost aimed that thing at the receiver Kenny Grant, the intended receiver.
He didn't set himself. He kind of pushed it out there and had nothing on it and didn't get to the receiver.
you're a high school football fan, you're going to love PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Coming up in December, PCN will air all 4 PIAA championship games live from Hershey Park Stadium. When you're looking for high school sports here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, turn to PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network. And we're on live on PCN statewide tonight. Good to have you with us, no matter what corner of the Commonwealth you're watching from.
And you're watching one of the top high school players in the entire country in number 11, Terrell Pryor. Delay of game.
A little miscue there as they were trying to run the inside reverse.
Might have been a false start on the left side of that offensive line.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Yeah, you saw it, John. It's going to make it 3rd down at about 9.
It was a different game from the one we had last week at North Allegheny with Bethel Park, in that the first half sped by. The first half here tonight was rather lengthy. Of course, we had some kids down with injuries. We had some penalties.
Wide left goes Nick Spino. A couple of receivers to the right side, a slot to the left as well. In the slot is Kenny Grant. Pryor fakes to him, throws downfield. He's wide open. There he is. Jordan Hall sidesteps a tackler,
and he got
gets a block, goes
Another
to the
block.
20, to the 10, to the
See
5,
ya.
to the house. Good night.
Now that is a 1-2 combination that's dynamite for the Jayhawks. Plenty of time that time for Pryor. He sets, looks, and just lofted it up. And he was behind all of the defenders that time.
Hall had to wait for it just a tad, and then cleaned up the rest of it. Nice little slip move.
And there's the block. A good block provided out in front by Nick Spino, I believe. That was the last defender that had any chance to catch Mr. Jordan Hall. He's been outstanding.
Extra point kick is up, and this one is tall, and it is good by Mike Danko. 10:21 to go. 3rd quarter of play. Jeanette is on the march again. 46-6. They lead.
And that might be the last time we see the starters right there. So even the penalties have set them back and wiped out a big game. Could not slow them down because of that young man right there. There are the 4 plays. They went 61 yards. And Hall, just a junior. Minute 39 on the clock, and that is not what Wash High needed to happen right off the bat in the second half. This is a very powerful offense and defense. And that young man has had a great night.
That he has. Jordan Hall, 60-yard pass reception from Terrell Pryor. You know, next week we're going to be at Highlands High School as the Golden Rams host the Indians of Indiana High School in a Class AAA Greater Allegheny Conference battle right here on the Comcast High School Football Game of the Week. That game is going to air Saturday, September 15th at 7 p.m. on the Comcast FYI channel. That's channel 11 here in Western Pennsylvania, and it'll be available on demand in the Your Town folder beginning Monday, September 17th. Catch the best in high school football action right here on Comcast, your home for local high school sports. Kickoff return, Wash
Another good
High
return.
trying to spring it up, and they get all the way out to the 39-yard line before the return man is tracked down on the play, and that man was Sean Vaughn.
So a good return, and they have had some success on kickoff returns, primarily up the middle of the field.
30-yard return by Vaughn.
And Pryor is out there defensively.
Take another look at it there. Vaughn slipping through everybody.
And finally wrapping him up was Toddy Harris. But decent field position. And that's something they have not had other than the opening drive.
Chad Smith trying to get something going here. Let's see if his line can protect him. That's been critical. Quick out over to the right side is caught. And they're going to pick up some short yards.
Well, that's one way to handle the rush is to just get rid of the ball quickly. Get it to the man outside. See if you can make something happen, because they've been lining up 6, 7, 8 guys on that line, and everybody has been coming.
Nick Bryant will pick up just 1 yard before he's dropped. Bryant is 6'2", 158, a junior, his first catch of the game. Second down and 9 for Wash High. The ball sitting just beyond their 40-yard line. We're in the third period of play now. Jeanette has scored again. They lead 46-6. Smith barking the count. You can hear him now. The crowd has grown quiet, and a handoff is going to go to the left, and they'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's as far as the running back, 25, Joe Ward, is going to go.
And that time there was a freshman in there on that play. They just are not giving them anything along the line of scrimmage.
Jeanette folks happy about the way this thing's going on tonight.
That freshman is number 72, Anthony Denny. 5'9", 205-pound freshman playing here in the second half, right in the middle of that defensive line. He's lining up as a nose tackle.
And we're going to see more and more youngsters as this one keeps going. Pryor still in there working as the center fielder. Smith again calling the play.
Here they come on the blitz.
Oh, he evades it.
And fights his way back.
Still tries to get back to the 40-yard line. Almost got back to the line of scrimmage. He's going to end up losing about, maybe a half yard on that play. But he was lucky that he was able to duck under that, not take the direct hit on the blitz.
And there was nothing he could do. And you see coming hard from the outside is Justin Ketron. He's a junior. And again, we're seeing some new faces on this defense now.
Good thing for Ray Ritz. He wants to get his youngsters some game action.
Now they're going to send the deep receivers for the kickoff will be Terrell, Pryor, and Jordan Hall. That's a pretty good pair to return a kick, huh?
Couple of blue chippers back there.
Absolutely. Well, Coach Ritz told us, he said, this is not a one-man football team. I'll tell you, having a guy like that makes everybody else better.
Smith sails one downfield. It's going to be Pryor getting a block from Hall. Pryor near side 30, 35, 40, sideline, 50, cut back, 45, Terrell to the 40, 30. Oh, he gets tripped up, and they might have face masked him. I'm not sure.
Well, either that or they're going to say it was an illegal lateral as he tried to dump it off at the last minute to T.J. Burns on the special teams. I thought that for a minute he was going to go all the way.
Ward making the stop for Wash High. Let's decipher it.
That's what they're going to say. It was not a...
That's an illegal forward handling.
Yeah, you're right, John. You saw it.
At the end of the return. It's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Comcast DVR Instant Replay is going to reveal the whole thing.
Well, let's watch. As he was trying to catch up. Now he's going to draw some attention. It's a beautiful run. He went 64 yards. But when he flipped it to T.J. Burns, he unfortunately was ahead of him. And you can't do that.
Burns went down awkwardly. At first, I thought somebody grabbed him by the mask the way he went down, but it was just the fact that...
Illegal forward handling on the return team from the spot of the foul, 5 yards, first.
The way that Ward hit him, he just came down awkwardly. And there's the penalty mark off, and they're going to put the ball at the 28.
And we are going to have some changes.
Ryan Pecoraro comes in. He's going to work as a wideout over to the left side. The new man to the right is going to be Dane Vaughn.
New quarterback.
And running the offense right now, Kamen Barrage.
And they just pound it straight ahead. That's what they've done all night long.
Dane Vaughn, the running back. You can see him. Toddy Harris, number 7. You identified him earlier, John. And
James Drury with the ball carrier.
James
that time.
Drury. He's had some rushes earlier.
Yep.
Pickup of 2, second down at 8 for the Jayhawks. Clock winding. We're in the third period of play. Jeanette is up 46-6.
And keep in mind, Washington scored first.
Barrage trying to turn the left corner. He's going to be dumped, wrapped up from behind by Big Sam Miller, 6'2", 290 senior.
I think part of the problem, Chris, we haven't called Sam's number enough tonight.
You know, everybody can focus on skill position players, and we've talked ad nauseum about Jeanette's here tonight. What about the line play? I mean, you know, both sides of the football, Jeanette has played a solid game, both blocking and tackling.
Well, Miller comes out of the ball game and is standing behind the coaches. I don't think he's hurt.
Washington wants a timeout.
Well, they used a timeout early in the first quarter of the game.
Well, a lot of spirit here in the house tonight. Katie Cessny is going to dole out the Comcast Spirit Award for the week. Katie?
You betcha, guys. And you know, every week, as you said, Chris, we give away the Comcast Spirit Award, and this week it goes to Jeanette. From the opening sign that the guys bust through to this awesome sea that they made, this is the reason you can see why we think they're so Comcastic and they deserve this award this week. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Jayhawks. Nice job.
You know, John, everywhere we go, week in and week out, cheerleaders, fans in the stands, folks in the bands, even the players themselves trying to get the attention of Comcast and our camera crew. And when they do things like Jeanette did tonight, making the logo out of the pom-poms and having that big sign that the players crash through with the Comcast logo on it, that's how you win Spirit Awards, and that's how Jeanette won it tonight.
Well deserved. They brought a big following for the game tonight. Their band was very good at halftime. You saw that. The Wash High band was outstanding.
The only guy who's not here is Terrell's dad.
That's right. And he's watching someplace.
He had car problems. Yeah, but he isn't. Yeah, he is watching. We'll give him credit today. Here's a little trap on the counter going to the left. Dane Vaughn, the ball carrier this time, and will be wrapped up after just a short gain by the Prexies.
And that might be only the third time that they haven't driven the ball into the end zone when they've had a possession. They fumbled once, and then right at the end of the half, they let the clock run out, and we're not going to get into the end zone here. But they did on their first possession of the second half.
Fourth down situation. Let's see what Cameron Barrage does. He's the backup quarterback, 6'1", 165, and a junior, wearing number 8 in white.
And I think we've got mostly second teamers in there now. You can tell by the freshness of the jerseys.
Roycroft is in as a wide receiver over to the left side. Inside handoff. They're trying to go for that first down, but they're not going to get it as Wash High rises to the occasion and stops them at the 24-yard line on the straight run up the middle by James Derry.
Well, the other thing they want right now in the third quarter is that clock winds down to 3. They just want to let it keep on rolling. Give some of their younger players some experience.
Catering for tonight's broadcast has been provided by Subway right here on Jefferson Avenue in Washington, PA. Remember, after 4 p.m. every day, get 4 or more 6-inch subs at just $2.99 each, with yogurt, raisins, and apples, as you have healthy choices, all part of their Eat Fresh menu at Subway. Call the Washington Subway, 724-222-3959. Thanks to all the fine folks at Subway here in Little Washington for taking care of us with an outstanding dinner once again. Our crew really likes to eat,
They
too.
went through those in a heartbeat tonight. They were good. You're the only one that didn't eat them.
I didn't get one.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'll stop on the way home. Third quarter action. 2.5 minutes to go. Clock winds. And Jeanette up big over Wash High. Interstate Conference battle. Prexies with the ball back, wearing their home black and Columbia blue. They have a new quarterback in as well. Looks like Thomas Kelly has gone in to take the snaps. Vaughn, the ball carrier, will not get anything. As a matter of fact, he's going to lose a yard. Jeanette knocks him backwards for a yard loss to bring up second down to Andy Levitt.
Well, Thomas Kelly is a senior. Pretty good size, 6'4", 168. They'll go out of the eye, and I expect them to keep it on the ground as well.
Movement on the line, no flags. Wash High trying to run it again, and you better believe that was a good tackle by 52 Daniel Brummett that time. Also going in there to grab him, James Derry in on the play that time. It looked like Joseph Ward was the ball carrier and just never got it going, and they're going to lose a couple of more yards.
Well, that's been the story of the night with their offense. They keep going backwards, and they had -2 yards total offense in the opening half of play.
Anthony Magnone heads into the backfield as well now. Pro-eye look for Wash High. Back to pass is Kelly. Flushed. He's going to set and throw. Sidearm ball almost picked off, and it goes incomplete. Deflected by James Derry, working over the middle.
Looked like James Derry was going to have a pick right there. But a pretty good job by the quarterback to keep that play alive. Buy himself enough time. The tough part of that, and we saw it happen in last week's game, is he's throwing back across his body, and he really couldn't get very much on it. Besides, he threw into a couple of defenders right there.
And he comes up limping, too. You know, one of the things, John, I'm sure the coaches are stressing this. Young backup players, this is your chance to shine. Try to impress me here in the late going. Sure, we're down 40 points, but you're playing for your future. Try to impress me here and now.
Kelly is down. I think he's hurt.
Smith is the punter. Had eons of time to get rid of that, and it'll bounce dead at the 38-yard line.
I think that's our first official cramp down there for the backup quarterback. They're working on his leg.
On Comcast On Demand right now, every year, thousands of horses face the fate of being sold for slaughter. One woman hopes to change that. Go to the Your Town folder on demand and order Animal Stories to see this compelling story. Only on Comcast On Demand in the Your Town folder. Bill Britton facing the sidelines.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And we have come down to the end of 3. How about that?
That was quick.
3 periods gone, and Jeanette leads it by a score of 46-6 here in Little Washington.
Honey?
We just don't know what's gotten into you lately.
You've always been so cooperative.
It's as if you take pleasure in giving us a hard time.
You left us no choice. We've brought someone in to see you.
No more excuses.
Is your PC making life difficult? Computer Patrol is on duty for any problem. Count on our on-site support to put you in control.
Boot this.
Computer Patrol from Pentella Data. Our geeks are smarter than their geeks.
Tomorrow's college football stars are on the rise right here in Pennsylvania. Next week, Parkland at Freedom, featuring Parkland at Freedom, Friday night at 7. Also, Grove City at Wilmington, Saturday night at 9.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Hometown Sports, Pittsburgh's premier black and gold headquarters, and by the Pittsburgh Passion, Pittsburgh's championship professional women's football team. Visit PittsburghPassion.com. Welcome back to Wash High Stadium. Chris Shovlin, John Sanders, Katie Cesney, and our Comcast crew here tonight on Comcast in the high school football game of the week. FYI channel every Saturday at 7 p.m. On demand in the Your Town folder every Monday night following our Friday night broadcast. And tonight, PCN brings it to you live. Pennsylvania Cable Network, the only statewide network bringing you the sights and sounds of high school football. For a complete schedule of upcoming games, visit PCN's website. That's www.pcntv.com. Jeanette with the big lead and with the offense on the field. And they're just trying to run the clock out here and get some backup, some valuable playing experience. As we see the running back this time for the Jayhawks wearing 33, Marielle McGowan, taking the handoff and going for 4.
And McGowan is a junior. You mentioned some of the youth on this Jayhawk team, and at least in the first 2 games of the season, Chris, they've gotten a lot of actual game time.
John, they're going to need that when it comes stretch time too. When you get into the playoffs, you're not going to have a lot of big differentials on the scoreboard. So, you know, if these guys are needed to come in and get the job done in a tight game, at least they'll have some playing experience in a real live action football game. As we see the quarterback, Cameron Barrage, taking it around the left side and getting himself a first down into Prexy territory at the 48.
Nice little option play there, and they had to grab him from behind. And once again, there's been a push from that offensive line, whether it's the first team, the second team, the third team. The Jayhawks have pretty much controlled the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively.
Thomas Kelly has the lone touchdown for the Wash High Prexies. Scored that early in the ball game on a 4-yard reception from Chad Smith. It was all set up by Joe Ward's long kickoff return.
That was Trevor Petrillo, another backup who's in there right now for Wash High as they get some of their second team players on the field.
And Jayhawks again running that ball straight forward with Mariel McGowan getting another snap, another carry. Picked up 1 yard on that carry.
On the tackle for Wash High was Robert Nolan.
There's a look at Jordan Rival there. Defensive end, only a sophomore, getting some playing time. 5'9", 174.
Well, I know one guy who's not happy on that sideline, and that's number 71, Sam Miller. He did not want to come out of the ball game. It didn't matter what the score was. He wanted to play. And that's a scrum there.
Yeah, it is. They're all stacked up. Nowhere to go. Barrage finally went down after maybe losing a yard. That time Wash High was all over it. It's going to bring up a 4th down situation.
Well, there's not a lot of deception out there right now. You've got 2 backs in the backfield. Everybody's pretty much in tight, and the clock is running.
My mistake. 3rd down and 10. Jeanette. Barrage calling the signals inside the Jayhawks huddle now. It's going to send a wide out to the right and Dylan Roycroft. Otherwise, a tight set with a flanker. Actually, a wingman to the left. And now we've got some running room. And here go the Jayhawks. The backups are going to score. This is Justin Ketron. And he goes all the way in for the touchdown from 48 yards away, John.
Well, you could see that one right at the line of scrimmage. It was like the parting of the sea. And once he got into the secondary, he showed good speed. Keep in mind that is a junior, 5'11", 158-pounder. But look at the hole. Unbelievable. And after that miss, it's all over. He's off to the races on our Comcast DVR instant replay for another Jayhawk score.
Wow. Now they're getting set for the point after, and that's what they've had trouble with as we see Ketron. It was like watching the truck drive away from you, or the race car in this case drive away from you down the highway.
Well, they can't figure out who's supposed to be on the PAT team.
Well, John Staff, who did some long kickoffs earlier, is going to be in for the point after. He slips, and that one's going to knuckle out of there.
Try snuggle.
It is no good, according to our official Denny Laurie, and he's absolutely right, no matter what angle you're watching it from. 52-6, Jeanette in the lead. Hey, Katie, what's going on downtown?
You know what, guys? It is easy to be a fantastic fan when your team is doing fabulously, but it's even tougher when your fans having kind of a rough game. And this is Zach Hart. He is in 5th grade, and he has been toughing it out. He's got the face paint going on. He's got his shirt going on. Zach, why did you stick it out for the whole game?
I just wanted to be fan of the game.
You wanted to be fan of the game. That's a man after my own heart. I love that. So we're going to give Zach this awesome Comcast High School football T-shirt to take home for being such a good sport and for being such a great fan. Thanks, Zach. Back to you guys.
And he's going right out the exit right now. He's done. He's got his shirt. He's leaving.
He did. He got what he came for. He got what he came for.
Nah, just kidding.
Zach, you're looking sharp. Katie knows how to find him in the stands, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Well, 9:12 to go. We're in the 4th quarter. Jeanette has rolled up a 52-6 advantage over Wash High.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but they have a chance to score 60 points again.
They did it last week.
So far, they've given up just 6, and that was on the first drive of the game after a great kickoff return for the Prexies. But it has been all downhill since then. And the thing that you know and you saw on that particular play is the guys who are playing now, they want to do the best they can. They want to score touchdowns.
Sure.
It's not like you're trying to rub it in on Wash High, but you got kids that just want to play.
Same offense as last time.
Same thing on Wash High side of the field. You know, you have kids out there who might not be in the starting lineup who need to play hard to impress the coaches so they can get some attention, maybe move up on the depth chart. This has been no letdown, believe me. Folks, we saw Washington just march down the field, score the opening touchdown of the game, and then it has been all Jeanette. And they are all that they have been billed as as far as I'm concerned here tonight, as we see the return and slipping and falling. Christopher Fowler, just a freshman on that run back. And Comcast High School football is powered tonight and every Friday night by Sunbelt Rentals. I'd like to thank Paul, Eric, Dave, and Marvin at the Rochester Road location for the great equipment and service they provide. Give Sunbelt Rentals a call when you need them, 412-364-8630, or visit them online at sunbeltrentals.com.
And right now you need a scorecard to tell the players. There are all kinds of new bodies on both sides.
John, I'm looking at the Jeanette coaching staff. That part of the staff that was up here in the booth, we still have 8:34 to go, and they've made their way down the stairs.
Well, there's not much else to see up here, I don't think, at this point.
Jeanette.
Jeanette has called a timeout here.
I think they were a little confused as to who was going to play where. So there was a little confusion on that defense to get the right personnel out there, and I think that's the reason that they called time.
Oh, this is what's left in Jeanette's schedule. Of course, a long way to go. Yock, John, was the only team to have beaten Jeanette last year during the regular season.
And the only conference loss that they suffered.
Greensburg Central down at the end of the season. That's always an interesting ball game. Those two neighbors going at it neck and neck. And Wash High, of course, has East Allegheny coming up next, and the rest of their schedule, all in the Interstate Conference.
And we mentioned this early because there's so many teams in this conference, they only play one non-conference game out of their schedule. So everything counts.
All right, Washington brings a new offense out onto the field. And
they run into a new defense.
That they do. That time the ball carrier is Julian Anderson. They have a new quarterback in.
Well, Anderson is another freshman for Wash High.
Well, they've got number 20 playing quarterback, and
I knew it wasn't number 75 playing quarterback.
No,
we don't even have 75 on our roster.
Nor do we have a number 20. Oh, I checked that.
That's right.
That's James Evans.
James Evans.
That's right. They told us before the game he'd switch uniforms, and he did. So Evans is in, and now running the ball again will be Julian Anderson, this time with a power sweep over to the left side.
But you saw that referee crank his arm. It looked like he went out of bounds to me, but the referee said no, let that clock roll.
I think he's in.
Well, I do too.
52-6, and the clock is winding.
This was impressive, start to finish.
Again, take nothing away from Wash High.
No.
It's that Jeanette is just that good. They are a tremendous AA football power. That's why they're ranked number 1 in the WPIL and in the PIAA statewide right now. Handoff coming this side. And hustling over to the sideline. And a penalty flag after the play, as well, as we see Julian Anderson get taken down about 4 or 5 yards out of bounds.
Well, it's going to be a first down and more, I believe.
Personal foul, face mask against the defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, you heard the call. Give Washington more yardage and move the chains for a first down. Bill Britton still out there, clapping his hands, imploring his kids to do well. These are the backups. The youngsters, they too getting some playing time here tonight, but for the wrong reason. They're in the bottom end of a 52-6 score.
Well, you saw that Thomas Kelly had that problem with the cramp, and so they went to James Evans as their quarterback. And good pursuit again.
Yeah, it was. Julian Anderson trying to turn it outside over to the far side. And there was nothing doing. And number 34 in the Jeanette White is Dane Vaughn, linebacker.
They're pretty deep.
They really are. I mean, this team just doesn't stop coming at you. An impressive display by the Jeanette Jayhawks again tonight. Again, if you're joining us a little bit late, they beat Brownsville convincingly 60-0 after the first period of play. They took almost every starter out of the ball game. They got some of the backups in. Tonight, they are leading Wash High 52-6 as we see one of the Jeanette Jayhawks cramping up, and they're working on him right now. And this has just been a tremendous showing of power by the Jayhawks. On Comcast On Demand right now, see the magnificent wonders of polar bears as our cameras give you a close-up look at Pittsburgh Zoo's newest residents. Go to the Your Town folder in the On Demand channel and order polar bears. Only on Comcast On Demand in the Your Town folder. And that new polar bear exhibit at the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium is just magical.
It is great. They've done a terrific job.
All right, after the injury timeout, 6:28 left to play. They're going to wind the clock. It's rolling. 52-6. Jeanette over Wash High. We're here in Washington, PA tonight. Second down and 15 for the Prexies. Inside handoff, and again, not much there, and the Jeanette defense just puts a licking on everybody who comes near him. James Derry was there. Trevon Kraft was there.
We got freshmen, we got sophomores playing. We got a little bit of everything going on right now. Ryan Pecoraro was also in on that play. He's a sophomore.
Zachary Barnes, a running back, picks up a yard. It's third down and 14. Ball sitting right at the midfield stripe. They're working from the far hash mark.
Come on, guys.
Flanker right, eye backfield is staggered a bit. There's another handoff.
Good
blocking. And look at this young Prexy go. And they're going to get on the board for a touchdown on that gallop by Christopher Fowler.
A freshman. It was kind of like the touchdown run that went the other way for the Jayhawks. Because once he got through the big hole, it was all speed after that, and there was nobody going to catch him. As he just opened it up and rolled to a touchdown. A freshman, there's a huge hole right there, and see you later. Nobody's going to be able to catch him. Devin Holmes was the closest, but he was not going to get him, and it's a touchdown.
50-yard run for Fowler there, John. And that will impress the coaches.
They will go for 2.
And they're going to be close, but they will not get in there.
The try's no good.
The try will fail there. Fowler just ran 50 yards in one play. Chad Smith, because of the pressure that he faced, has had 6 official carries for minus 46 yards tonight. He was a starting quarterback.
But did that run get them in the plus side of their rushing category now? There's the numbers. 6 plays, 78 yards, 50-yard run. Okay. They're +1 then, right? 28 yards on 27 carries. Is that the total? Well, it's better than the -2 that they had at halftime.
All right, it's time to take a look at our Burn Energy Drink high energy play of the game. Terrell Pryor back to pass, throws long, and how about this catch? The slide, and then the jaunts. Jordan Hall for the big touchdown. That play is our Burn Energy Drink high energy play of the game. And Jeanette High School for that play is going to receive a case of Burn Energy Drink because that play was just that incredible. Also, Wash High will get a case of Burn Energy Drink for having us here tonight. Our Comcast cameras. Burn is the only energy drink formulated by athletes for athletes. Ask for it at your local retailer.
This is a part of the game where I played when I was in high school.
I shouldn't laugh. I was up here in the booth when I was in high school. I was doing this back then. Well, the Presidents have had better days. Prexies won the 2001 PIAA State Championship, the WPIL Championships many times, even way back in the wee days.
Hey, let's get down there now.
Tonight, not their night. Jeanette, John wants to get back to that title game. I know they're not talking about it, but you better believe that they felt that business was not finished last year when they lost to Wilson area.
Well, they lost by a point in that championship game.
They led through most of that game, too. You see the return on the kickoff. And on the return, number 76, Jaron Kirkland. How many times have you seen 76 returning a kick?
No, he's a freshman too. He's a wide receiver and a defensive back at 5'9", and he weighs all of 135 pounds.
Of course, we've been talking
I think
about
that 76 jersey's too big for him.
Yeah,
too.
I think you're right. He borrowed some lineman shirt. Hey, I want to get in there. You know, we were talking about our live coverage on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN, tonight, but we really want to thank the folks in the Pittsburgh region, Comcast, for all they do for high school football. Jessica Kendlick, the director of marketing here in Pittsburgh, who just has a passion for high school football and all things Western Pennsylvania. As we see this guy tearing up some real estate in Western Pennsylvania, this guy being Toddy Harris, who's now in there running that ball. Jess and all the folks at the Pittsburgh Regional Comcast office, they do so much for the high schools and the communities in general. So much local programming on the on-demand channels.
And they should be saluted for that, because that's what they're about.
I'm going to go home and watch polar bears and horses, dogs and cats.
And dogs.
Yeah.
I think we have some monkeys coming up later.
No, he's keeping the stats. Oh. Sorry, Ken. I just couldn't resist.
Substitute infraction against the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat.
Yeah, we could have gone without that call too. You know. Kids don't know which ones are supposed to be out there. So
I know.
Substitute infraction would be very easy to happen, especially when you're down by 40 points. But that was on the offense, obviously, not the defense. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be out here?
I know the ball's at the 47. That's all I know.
Oops.
And look at that. There you go. A prime example.
Well, you wonder how many reps these kids take in practice, you know, during the week. So it's not surprising that there's a little confusion.
Prior to the snap, false start against the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I'll tell you what, Denny Laurie and his crew have done a pretty good job tonight.
Yeah, they have, but he keeps turning his mic off too quickly. Of course, we can read his lips. We know what he's saying. Still first down.
And march it back up to the line. Another new quarterback in, Tom Pallone. 5'7" sophomore for Jeanette. He takes a snap. He gives it off. All the backups are in there, and the running back is Jaron Kirkland once again. He's the guy that we were kidding a little. No, that's not Jaron. I thought that was him again. That was Mike Penn. Mike Penn, John, is a guy that I saw jump off the roster to me when I was getting our game notes together.
We talked about him earlier.
5 feet tall, 95 pounds. He's a freshman, and he's out there playing his heart out, and he just picked up what? No, he didn't pick up anything. He lost yards.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, he did pick up 3 yards.
Well, make up your mind, Chris.
He picked up 3. I had to look down at the roster so quickly I took my eyes off the play.
It's a good thing we have all the names.
Everybody's getting in this ball game tonight. Quick opener up the middle, and Jeanette's going to find some room in the body of Devan Larden. He is 5'9", 154, and a senior.
I don't think there's anybody for Jeanette that hasn't played in this game, and it's probably true of Wash High too.
I believe so. Looking at 3rd and 12. Jeanette with the ball at the Washington 45-yard line. It's a 52-12 difference on the scoreboard. Jeanette all over Washington. Christopher Fowler said never give up. He scored on a 50-yard run for Wash High late. That was the last score we saw. And now another run, another new man. This is Darius Brown, 97, running the football. He's only a 5'2" freshman.
And he's got a lineman's jersey too, and it's too big for him.
But he's out there and he's a gamer.
Yeah. He picked up a first down.
16-yard carry. Ball sitting inside the 30, officially at the 28-yard line. 1:40 left in the game.
And I know Coach Ritz has to try to keep a lid on things because of all the high expectations, the high rankings, how well they did last year. Look at him go.
There we go again.
He's going to score.
This is a Jeanette touchdown, and this is Jaron Kirkland taking it in.
Well, that's amazing. No flags?
No flags. Jaron Kirkland from 28 yards out. The touchdown for the Jayhawks.
Holding.
Oh, they're going to call it back.
The offense.
There was a flag.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat first down.
Yeah, way back up there near the line. Let's take another look. Nice run. He got some good blocks, but unfortunately they were a little too good. Somebody helped.
Well, he showed pretty good speed once he got outside, and you could tell when he got to about the 15-yard line that nobody was going to catch him.
Well, he looked back at that official to make sure he was putting his hands up, too. Too bad for the youngster. Jaron Kirkland with a nice gallop, but holding is the call. It'll bring up first down and about 22 now for Jeanette. They have another new quarterback in, and they're just letting everybody play ball here in the late going. Matt Schrum took the snap there, number 29. And we're under a minute to go.
And Trent Errett, another freshman, ran the football. But I like number 76 there, Kirkland, in that big jersey.
He's going to grow into that thing, though. Maybe get a number change by the time he's a junior.
Maybe so.
Second down and long for the Jayhawks. Again, Schrum will take the snap at quarterback. Gives off. Another quick opener. Running the football this time for Jeanette is Trent Arrett. 5'10", 165-pound freshman. Got him a little yardage there with 12 seconds to go in the game. And Jeanette has had this one in the bag. 52-12. They're going to win this one here at Wash High tonight as they let the clock wind down to 0. John, Washington showed us some explosiveness. First drive of the game, they scored with 10:33 to go in the first period. Thomas Kelly on a 4-yard pass from Chad Smith, and it looked like it was going to be a barn-burning type of ball game. That set up by Joe Ward's kickoff return of 77 yards. But Jeanette went on the march and scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row before Washington could get a mop-up touchdown from Christopher Fowler, a 50-yard run. We're coming back for our full post-game show. We'll talk to the players and the coaches. Coming up next, Jeanette 52, Wash High 12 on the Comcast High School Football Game of the Week.
The Pennsylvania Cable Network now invites viewers to watch Deutsche Welle programming, offering world news and information from Cologne, Germany. Newscasts from Deutsche Welle alternate in German and English every hour. Programs are shown live on PCN until 6 o'clock in the morning. For Deutsche Welle scheduling information, call 877-777-DWTV or send your email to dwquestions@earthlink.net.
This week, the author of Barbaro, Sean Clancy. Sunday night at 9.
Pennsylvanians watch state policy leaders on PCN. Policy leaders even watch each other.
I watched our new President Pro Tem of the Senate, Joe Scarnati, on PCN.
Even Governor Ed Rendell watches PCN to find out what's on the minds of lawmakers in the House and Senate. PCN shows the process of government in real time without editing. PCN, your window on the state capitol. Only on cable.
Neben kleinen Serien sind vor allem Unikate begehrte Sammlerstücke. Zum Glasstraßenjubiläum gibt es hohen Besuch. Bundestagspräsident Norbert Lammert bei den Freiherren von Posching. Wir sind sehr zuversichtlich. Das ist Die Drei-Flüsse-Stadt Passau liegt am südlichen Rand der Glasstraße. Hier gibt es seit 1985 ein Glasmuseum mit einer der bedeutendsten Sammlungen der Welt. Neben böhmischem Glas stehen hier Kostbarkeiten aus europäischen Herrenhäusern. So wie dieser Pokal des russischen Zaren. Das Museum gehört Reiseunternehmer Georg Höltl. Alle 30.000 Exponate hat er zusammengetragen.
Warum ist das Glas in Passau? Ich habe total anders gesammelt wie alle anderen, kann ich sagen. Ich habe die Gläser gekauft nach der Aussagekraft, weil wenn ich so ein Glas sehe, da steckt Kraft dahinter. Das muss ein besonderer Künstler gewesen sein. Das kann man daraus lesen.
Das sogenannte Kristallschiff ist die neueste Attraktion der Stadt. 1,2 Millionen Swarovski-Kristalle lassen das Donauschiff funkeln. Ein glänzender Rahmen für die 10-jährige Jubiläumsfeier der Glasstraße.
Wer einen dieser Läden betritt, könnte meinen, hier gibt es alles kunterbunt durcheinander. Die Concept Stores gibt es mittlerweile in Metropolen wie New York, Mailand, Paris und eben auch Berlin. Aber Concept Stores